It's always quiet at the start. The kind of quiet that pulls you in and makes you focus on what's about to happen. If you see this machine and I, we don't really communicate with words or sounds. But as it structures each layer, each precise line, it's like we're slowly figuring out how to work together. I load the file, start the print, and what emerges isn't just plastic. It's an idea taking shape, a possibility becoming real, or some bullshit like that. Now, what I'm talking about here is my Elegoo 3D printer. And out of everything I own, this is probably the coolest thing I have in my studio. It's not just a gadget or a tech toy, it's by far the main tool I use to bring some of my ideas to life. It's crazy because if I had to go back in time and tell my younger self that one day I would have a machine like this, I would not only find it hard to believe, but I would ask why. Why would someone like me, someone with no hands-on trade experience, no background in design or engineering, have something like this? Well, that why actually lies in the very reason this piece of technology was created in the first place. Let's break it down. What first started out as a strategy for prototyping has become an incredible tool in helping reshape the world around us, and innovation like this usually begins with the unexpected. Let's start with the shoe. Not stitched, not sewn, but printed, layer by layer, with flexible structures that mimic the biomechanics of human movement. Brands like On, with their 2024 light spray technology, are using 3D printing not just for prototypes, but for final performance-ready products. And then you find it underwater. Take a look at coral reefs. Once bleached and broken by climate change, now being rebuilt through this innovative process. In fact, researchers in Hong Kong developed 3D printed terracotta tiles that mimic the complex geometry of natural reefs. These tiles actually provide a secure surface for coral larvae to attach and grow, which dramatically improves survival rates compared to traditional cement-based restoration methods. And in biomedicine, researchers are not only printing bones, but joints, skin, even experimental scaffolds for organs. These aren't just medical miracles, they're blueprints for our bodies but rewritten in resin and filament. Let's take a look at the Mayo Clinic, who have been a pioneer in integrating 3D printing technology into pediatric surgery. By creating highly detailed 3D printing heart models from a child's MRI or CT scan, surgeons gain a deeper understanding of the unique anatomical challenges they may face during the operation. And now, homes. Entire structures printed in layers of concrete by robotic arms. While once took months and an entire crew, now takes days. Like we see with Icon, a leader in advanced construction technology, they can 3D print the full structure of a home in about 48 hours. Instead of using traditional methods, and often labor-intensive process, their massive printers can lay concrete in continuous sweeps until a full house takes shape. I think it's wrong to say that 3D printing is the future. It's rather the overlooked present, and if you had to ask me, these changes are happening right underneath our noses, in labs, in hospitals, in oceans, and orbit. 3D printing isn't just a tool to prototype anymore, it's a new way of building the world around us. Okay, so one thing we can say is that this wasn't sudden. It was rather a gradual process, one that required not only trial and error, but extensive collaboration and knowledge-sharing systems that allowed this innovation to spread, adapt, and improve across entire communities. The first recorded attempt at understanding what we know today as 3D printing can be credited to Dr. Hideo Kodama in the early 1980s for his work on the rapid prototyping technique. The doctor was the first to describe the manufacturing approach, basically laying the groundwork for SLA printing, or stereolithography, the process that uses UV laser to cure liquid polymer resin to create three-dimensional objects. Dr. Kodama was unfortunately unable to take this idea a step further, largely due to the lack of funding and institutional support. It's not surprising, what he proposed was innovation in its infancy, and institutions were hesitant to pursue international patent filings without clear commercial demand. The doctor was likely alone on this front, and thus he wasn't able to complete the full patent application within the 1-year deadline required under Japan's patent system. This, however, wasn't an issue for Charcot, because in the mid-1980s, he successfully patented SLA and founded 3D Systems Corporation. And in 1988, the company released the SLA-1, the first commercial 3D printer. For the first time, a machine can shine a laser into liquid resin and pull something solid from it. Not carved, not molded, but printed or shined, layer by layer. You can almost call this the birth of modern 3D printing, a concept so new it was called rapid prototyping because few could imagine the process being used for almost anything else. Designers now have the ability to produce tangible, functional prototypes quickly. This helps catch flaws early in the design process, reducing both time and cost. But let's make one thing clear. There was a growing desire among some people to build a community around this evolving technology. In 2004, the RepRap project began. It was a radical idea. Create a self-replicating 3D printer that anyone could build. Started by Dr. Adrian Bowyer at the University of Bath, the goal was to make low-cost 3D printers accessible to everyone. The project was open source, meaning anyone could download the plans, build their own printer, improve it, and share those improvements with the world. And many did. RepRap changed 3D printing from a corporate innovation into a community movement. It essentially helped democratize 3D manufacturing. And then came Joseph Prussia, a RepRap contributor from the Czech Republic. He took the chaos of the early years and in 2012, refined it. Prussia's mission from the start was to make 3D printing easy, fun, and open to everyone. The result was the Prusia i3, a simplified, user-friendly printer. And now, 3D printing is everywhere. It's revolutionizing industries. It's shown up in homes owned by people who never designed or manufactured anything before. With apps like Shaper 3D, budget-friendly printers from Amazon, and a few clicks, you can print almost anything. Phone stands, plant stands, or even those little figurines you like to hide around the studio. Our desire to integrate new technology into practically every essential industry isn't new. It's actually something we've been doing for a very long time now. You can sort of view it as an inherited gene that continuously drives us humans to build random things. You see, when you think back to one of our earliest ancestors, the Homo habilis, also known as the handyman, not because they were faster or stronger, but because of their remarkable ability to shape the world around them with the use of tools. And what's important to recognize, especially with their use of the hammerstone and its multi-purpose ability to break open nuts as well as strike other stones to create new tools, was its role in enabling humans to refine and improve production techniques over time. But it's not just about the tool, or even tool making. This in fact marked a profound leap in human cognition. As researchers argue, early tools sparked self-sustaining networks of knowledge. Each innovation didn't just help in the moment, it could be taught, inherited, and improved upon. This was essentially an ever-growing culture, where ideas outlived individuals and basically grew stronger across multiple generations. But hey, I'm no anthropologist, nor do I have a degree in the subject matter, but I do know how to read. And what fascinates me is how innovations like this never stay locked in the hands of the few. The knowledge of making and refining tools spread through communities and across generations and was continuously sharpened through trial and error. This form of innovation didn't end with stone tools. There's actually been many different objects that followed a very similar path. As with 3D printing, different types have emerged to meet different needs, from stereolithography and fused deposition modeling to selective laser sintering. And then came the RepRap project, an open source movement built on the radical idea of creating self-replicating 3D printers. You can say this empowered individuals and communities worldwide to become manufacturers in their own right, echoing that ancient tradition of knowledge sharing. And now, 3D printing has spread into every corner of modern life, from healthcare and coral reef restoration to aerospace and home construction, transforming not just what we build, but how we build. Just as a hammerstone once served a dual purpose, 3D printing gives us the ability to create right in our own living rooms while helping fuel breakthroughs across entire industries. Now, I may be like a lot of you watching this video. I would say I have the typical lifestyle of a 28-year-old. I have a decent but yet steady job, but before this, I didn't even know what CAD meant. And 3D design, that was completely foreign to me. I think the closest I would come to actually building something was assembling IKEA furniture with an Allen key. But curiosity has a way of pulling you in. One tutorial led to another, and before I knew it, I was sketching ideas on Shaper 3D and printing them right in my studio. At first, 3D printing was and still is a tool for me to prototype for the home and office brand I'm building. It helped me bring my ideas to life quickly and efficiently, and over time it evolved into something more personal. It became a way for me to upgrade my own studio, adding pieces that not only serve a function, but actually inspire me every day. One of my favorite prints is this triangular bookshelf inspired by the sharp and majestic peaks of the Rocky Mountains. Another great print, maybe some of you actually already know, is this iPhone dock that was originally designed by Scott Eugen. Just like all the other buyers, I'm just tapping into timeless human desire, not just to create, but to build something cool. So I guess for those of you on the edge of purchasing a 3D printer, just know that you don't have to be in some manufacturing industry or have some similar ambition as I do. You can just get one to create cool pieces or small accessories and furniture that can help brighten up your living space.